Thank you very much. Because I know your conference is called Facing Change and Challenge. And in preparing for this, I asked your coordinator, what do you most need to hear from me? Because you've got all the technical stuff, you've got the skills, you've got the experience. What do I have to offer to you? And some of the things that I was given back out of that question as answers were that you needed to know, you needed to hear that your work is important. And I thought, wow, you know, don't you? When you help a family, when you see the success, a woman giving birth to a healthy child, a family learning how to care for their children, I mean, is there anything more important in this world than people raising healthy, balanced children? There is no more important work than the kind of work you're doing. So please, from my heart to yours, as a mother of a diabetic son, know that again and again and never let go of that. And then she said that it's getting tougher because there's less education time, the insurance, and I've heard bits of this from people as I travel around. And also it's very frustrating because we can't always get people to change their behavior the way we would like to. It's so difficult to change behavior, isn't it? You know, we try to, and we know it's difficult. So I was thinking about what can I offer you? And I'm going to offer you some strategies, ideas, concepts from 3 different areas. One is from the world of acting, but it has psychological and philosophical ramifications. Another is from the world of psychology and projection and that sort of thing. And the third is from the world of yoga philosophy. So I've been singing your praises for a long time. I don't know if you know that, but in my books, I always say, and I've counseled whenever I've had a moment to counsel with or give advice to a person at a diabetes conference, what should I do? You know, I can't find a pediatric endocrinologist. I said, get a good diabetes educator. They're worth their weight in gold. And that comes out of my own experience. We had a wonderful doctor when my son Brennan was diagnosed 29 years ago. But the person who I connected with on a human connection in those first few days was the educator. Now, a year after that, 1979, 1980, I was cast on Days of Our Lives to play Liz Chandler. Anybody ever watch daytime dramas? Yes, you did. But while I was on the show, I was given a pivotal piece of advice that I want to share with you. These scenes came up that didn't make any sense within the context of the way the storyline had been progressing. And I thought, did they get a new writer who doesn't know what we've been doing? This isn't, and I called my acting coach and I said, you know, how am I going to play? This is terrible. I have to go, they have to change this. This isn't right. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense with what I had to do yesterday. And he said, Gloria, now here's the advice. Play the scene you're given. You are not in charge of the whole production. Does that relate? What you're doing is you're offering a gift, okay? You're offering a gift. Now, when you give a gift at Christmas, do you hang around for a few days and make sure it's used appropriately? Doesn't work, does it? I've tried. You never know what the gift you give, how it's going to manifest or grow, and how that person may go out and share that with somebody else. And maybe they're not being as patient, or maybe they're still feeling overwhelmed, but they meet another mother who has a child and says, don't worry, you don't have to, they told me you don't have to learn it all at once, you know? We don't know how our gift will grow. And don't worry about success and failure. Don't project that onto it. Play the scene you're given. Winston Churchill said, success is moving from failure to failure without losing too much enthusiasm. We teach best what we most need to learn. Now, there may be a really good reason you went into this work. Okay, there may be a really good reason I talk to people about healing and health. See, I have my father as an example. My father was really such a character and such a brilliant man. and he was a jazz musician and very, very creative. His name was Jerry, and he was always inventing little strange low-tech combinations of things, and we said that's where the word jerry-rigging came from, was my father. And my father was always reading and learning and teaching about positive thought and affirmative prayer and optimal nutrition, which was perfect because he was a lifelong alcoholic. You know, and we teach best what we most need to learn, right? And along the way, I mean, having been raised as a child in an alcoholic home where this chaos and uncertainty was there, it impacted me tremendously. And over the years, I've been able to put it aside and have some sense of humor about most of it. I think just about all of it now. I can see it. It's been integrated into me. Then I came across the yoga philosophy, and I started studying it, and I had some extraordinary experiences of that place of freedom within. And along the way, I found an extraordinary meditation teacher. And we would try to work on, from a philosophical standpoint, how to set ourselves free from that which got in the way of that place of freedom. And one day she said something really fascinating for me and very instructive. She said, watch for when there's agitation or friction when you're talking about something or engaged in an issue, because where there is friction, that's where your attention needs to be. How does that work? So I started to look at that, and I formed an image of that. It's like when we have that inner agitation about something, it's like a little kid saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, pay attention, mommy, 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 mommy." Because that friction is something about us that is not integrated, not at peace, and we can find it. So here's the clue. We find it when we're talking to somebody else, and we're giving advice or counsel, inspiration, but instead of giving it really freely, there's this little attachment to the outcome. It's got to be, it's this stress about, well, I just don't understand why she isn't patient. She just, no, come on, let's go, come on, let's go. I just don't understand, I mean, it's that stuff, we tend to give to others what we most need. To teach is to demonstrate. Ooh, there's pressure, right? Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Really, do I have to? His great story about Gandhi. A mother brought her son to Gandhi and said, Gandhiji, please tell my son he has to stop eating sugar, and it's not good for him. He eats much too much sugar. And Gandhi looked over at the little boy, and he looked back at the mother, and he said, come back in 2 weeks. So she came back in 2 weeks, and there she was in front of him with the little boy again, and she reminded him of why she was there, and he said, okay. And the little boy, come here. He talked very quietly in his ear. The little boy nodded in agreement very gravely. Okay, he was like, he got it, all right. He went back to his mom, and the mom said, thank you, Gandhiji, and she turned to go, and she said, by the way, why did I have to wait 2 weeks before you could talk to my son? And Gandhi said, because I knew it would take me 2 weeks to stop eating sugar. When our life and our words come into alignment, come into coherence, we speak from that place of compassion because we've walked our talk. We speak from that place of humility. We speak from that truth of experience. Play the moment. Play the scene you're given. Take the stress away. You're not in charge of the whole production. You're going to teach what you best need to learn.
Every word she spoke directly to me, and she just touched my life so deeply.
So let me leave you with this little piece of music that I think is very sweet from me to you. Do you hear me calling you? The voice of a mother and a father and a child. Do you recognize the truth? Can you see the love that's pouring from my eyes? Take just a minute, come and rest here by my side. Let me tell you your own story. Let me walk you through our lives. Only a moment is all it takes to realize that there's 100,000 angels by your side. Well, there's 100,000 angels here tonight. Thank you so much for the work you do. Thank you.
That was such a great speech. Every word she spoke directly to me, and she just touched my life so deeply.
She touches your heart. She inspires you. She makes you realize that the work you do every day is so important.
Well, I think her meditation job was amazing. Her talk was just motivational. I mean, I think everybody here really enjoyed her talk.
Yes, that was great. She was wonderful. It was exactly what we needed.
I totally love the conference. I especially love Gloria Loring. She was such a special treat for us because I go, oh my gosh, this woman is saying the truth. And it's things that you think about but you never realize until somebody speaks them. And I love her quotes, and I bought 2 of her CDs and had it cited, and she was inspirational, she was motivational, and it just gave me so much more ammunition to work with my patients. So I totally loved it. Thank you.